A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark decision on his final day in office, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has granted clemency to 15 individuals on death row, converting their sentences to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This significant move, announced on New Year's Eve, marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate over capital punishment in the state and comes in the wake of similar actions taken by President Joe Biden. Cooper, a Democrat who has been a vocal opponent of the death penalty, stated that his decision followed a thorough review of clemency petitions received from 89 of the 136 inmates currently on death row. The governor's office considered various factors, including the nature of the crimes, input from victims' families and prosecutors, claims of innocence, and the potential impact of racial bias in sentencing. After careful reflection and prayer, I concluded that the death sentences imposed on these 15 individuals should be commuted, while ensuring they will spend the rest of their lives in prison, Cooper said in his statement. This clemency action has been hailed by advocates for criminal justice reform and opponents of the death penalty as a crucial step toward addressing systemic injustices within the legal system. Among those granted clemency is Hassan Baycoat, a black man whose case has become emblematic of the racial disparities in capital sentencing. Baycoat, sentenced to death in 2009, has been challenging his conviction under North Carolina's Racial Justice Act, which allows for the reconsideration of death sentences if evidence of racial bias can be demonstrated. The ACLU has highlighted the significant evidence presented in Baycoat's case, arguing that it reveals a pervasive pattern of discrimination in jury selection against black defendants. Another notable case is that of Guy Legrand, whose execution was halted in 2006 due to concerns over his mental health. Legrand's attorneys have argued that his severe mental illness should have precluded him from receiving the death penalty. Additionally, Christopher Roseborough, convicted of murder and rape in 1992, was also among those whose sentences were commuted. Roseborough's legal team has pointed to his intellectual disabilities and inadequate legal representation at trial as critical factors in his case. Despite Cooper's actions, there are still many individuals on death row in North Carolina, and the fight against capital punishment continues. The state has not carried out executions since 2006, largely due to ongoing legal challenges and public outcry against the death penalty. This latest clemency decision is the largest of its kind in North Carolina's modern death penalty era, with previous governors having commuted only 5 death sentences. As Cooper prepares to hand over the reins to newly elected Governor Josh Stein, he leaves behind a legacy of advocating for justice reform and addressing the inequities of the death penalty. Advocates for alternatives to capital punishment have expressed hope that this trend will continue under the new administration. The North Carolina Coalition for Alternatives to the Death Penalty has praised Cooper's actions, noting that while they sought broader commutation for all on death row, the 15 men granted clemency represent a significant step towards rectifying past injustices. The coalition highlighted that 14 of the commuted sentences involved people of color, and that many were sentenced under outdated laws before reforms aimed at preventing wrongful convictions were implemented in 2001. In a broader context, Cooper's clemency action aligns with a national conversation surrounding the death penalty, particularly as President Biden has also taken steps to commute sentences for federal death row inmates. Last week, Biden announced that he had commuted the sentences of 37 out of 40 federal death row inmates, further igniting discussions about the future of capital punishment in the United States. As the clock ticks down on his administration, Cooper's decision serves as a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle for justice and equality in the criminal justice system. This historic clemency action not only reduces the number of individuals facing execution, but also shines a light on the systemic issues that have plagued the death penalty for decades. With 27 states still maintaining capital punishment, the question of its morality and effectiveness remains at the forefront of legal and political discourse. As North Carolina moves forward, the hope is that the momentum for reform will continue, paving the way for a more just and equitable legal system for all. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.